Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to Year of Nightmares, the one and only podcast hosted by myself, the year 2020. Tonight I've got a special little broadcast just for you all. It's me, apologizing for what a terrible year I've been by telling your stories. So sit back, relax, and get comfortable as we check in on the deteriorating mental state of our youth. I'm your host, the year 2020, and this is Red Mountain High School Theater's response to the past year of our lives.
Okay, put that there. You know, as I look back on the year 2020 as a whole, I can't say it was that bad. I mean, worldwide pandemics really give you time to learn a lot about yourself and reflect on your life. I mean, who would spend their time quarantined to, I don't know, play video games instead of doing some deep soul searching? Oh, wait, I know who. Me! But who would spend hundreds of hours playing Call of Duty, Rainbow Six Siege, God of War, Fortnite, Red Dead Redemption 2, Rocket League, League of Legends, and a few other games? Also me. But who would stay up till at least 4 a.m. every night, completely ruining their sleep schedule, and only come out of their room for food and bathroom breaks? This guy. So there I was, right? After hours upon hours of game time, I was finally about to win my 500th game of Fortnite, when, out of the blue, my game shut down. I couldn't believe it. I was about to finally fulfill all of my life's dreams, and my game just shut down right before my eyes. Turns out my parents turned off my Wi-Fi so that I could, do stuff regular kids do. I don't know who they think the regular kids are, but I don't know any of them. All the kids I know are just a bunch of mouth breathers who couldn't tell a pro gaming setup from their mother's laptop. Anyways, normally when my parents turn off my Wi-Fi, I just go to my friend's house and crank out some matches there, but can't exactly do that anymore, so I was at a loss. Yeah, my mom suggested I try baking with her. Of course, I had no intention of actually trying, but wanted some cookies, so I went with it. Immediately left her to do all the baking, though, because the steps were way too long, and the idiots who wrote the recipes couldn't even spell flour. They spelled it with a U, imbeciles. After that, my dad asked me if I wanted to play some sports. Told him no thanks. All those jocks in my school have ruined any chance I had of enjoying physical activity. Told him that I didn't want to actually play any sports, but we could play Madden or 2K on the PlayStation. But, to put things nicely, he didn't like that idea very much. So now, here I am, G Fuel coursing through my veins with no outlet for my pent-up aggression. There seems to be some misconception that video games are just a thing little kids play when they want to have fun. The people who say that have obviously never competed in a League of Legends tournament. Gaming isn't a hobby, okay? It's a lifestyle. Real gamers know that there is no fun in video games. Only pure, unfiltered, unbridled rage. Gaming is only for the most elite people who know to leave their emotions at the door where they belong. Trust me, there is no better feeling in the world than finding and bullying noobs in public game lobbies. Oh, for those of you who don't know, noobs are people who are bad at video games. There was one kid who had to go get his mommy because he cried since I called him out for being terrible at the game. And a disgrace to his family, obviously. Good times. You know, maybe the rest of the world isn't so bad. I guess now my eyes won't hurt from staring at my dual monitor setup. Maybe a break from the games is good. Maybe now I can finally learn to appreciate the world around me. Huh? There's a new season on Fortnite. Mom, can I have your credit card for a second?
It's been a good 7 months, my old friend. It feels like it's been forever. We've been growing and changing and evolving together since February. Do you remember when we sat down and watched The Office? Or all of Community? When we learned to cook paella, when you were cooped up inside that little mask of yours? When we would snuggle up and watch the news, the world burning outside, but you and I, together. All of the business meetings, Zoom calls, the TV dinners, the late night calls with Mum, the YouTube binging sessions, everything.
Well, wasn't this supposed to be our year? I am so tired of this. I really thought this was our year. But no, here I am, heartbroken, like the rest of you. You know, I had so many plans. I was so happy. But of course, this quarantine thing had to start. Tired of being home and not being able to do anything. Like this quarantine thing caused so many breakups. And we're all sad or depressed. What are we gonna do? I don't know. How much longer do we have to wait? Also don't know. But most importantly, does he still miss me? If only I could have gone out that day, I wouldn't be having to go through this. But of course, I am dealing with all of this. Anyways, actually, I don't care. I don't need him. And I will show him who I am and what I can be without him. Don't get me wrong. I don't wake up at 4 in the morning trying to get all dressed up, doing my makeup, so he can know who I am and how pretty I am. Anyways, I am doing this for me. I do what I do because I want to do it, even though I deep down really do miss him. Oh, I just want to wake up from this nightmare. Like, I really do think that if this quarantine and pandemic doesn't stop, I might go crazy.
Entry 15. I feel lost. I feel like I'm falling with no one to catch me. This year's gone by so quick, yet I feel like I've had every obstacle thrown at me. I have no motivation anymore. 2020 sucked it right out of me. This is a person I never thought I'd be. Takes so much effort to get out of bed, to eat, to do things that used to make me happy. You'd think high school would be all fun and all. But anytime someone asks you how you are, all you can say is lonely. Popping a simple pill to try to make you smile, but once you stop, all that you do is break. Sitting in your room alone for months, letting the thoughts creep in while happiness starts to feel like a faraway dream. I don't want it to be a dream. I want it to be my reality.
Listen, man, I know things are tough right now and you're trying your best to keep everybody safe, but I just had to get this one little thing off my chest. My job is to keep people safe, which I'm fine doing, but I just have this one request. Can you please take better care of your teeth? I mean, come on, we're a team here. Your job is to wear me over your mouth and nose, and mine is to protect you from the God knows what that's been going around lately. The least you can do is be courteous. Just a breath mint, that's all I'm asking. I mean, you must be able to smell it, right? Imagine being the one being breathed on. And I can tell you, my filter definitely isn't having it either. And I've heard through the grapevine that your Burt's Bees lip balm isn't doing so hot. So, look, I get it. Sometimes you can forget to floss. Simple mistake, you'll get them next time. But oh my God, if you're not brushing your teeth, you've got another thing coming. It's just 2 minutes out of your life, twice a day. Is that too much to ask? I'm aware times are different now and it can be hard to find motivation, but please, for my sake and for the sake of everybody you've ever kissed, take those 2 minutes to clean your stanky mouth. I heard a rumor that your mouthwash told your face wash that she never gets used. Is that true? Stop kidding yourself, man. Look, I don't want any hard feelings. It's important that you wear me every time you're with people who aren't in your household. So I have a proposition. Before bed tonight, if you could just pick up a toothbrush and go to town, you can make this all go away. Just keep that up every night and you won't hear any more complaints from me. Let's not have this conversation again. Sincerely, a disappointed Mask.
My dad owns ExxonMobil and Visa, and my mom is a 90th percentile neurosurgeon. We live in a $45 million house, and there's a virus that's holding me back from doing the things I want to do. I mean, I can't believe they won't let me go to Europe on the family plane. I mean, we did it all the time at the academy, studying abroad with elephants in Ethiopia. I mean, even with all my A's in my AP classes, my parents won't even let me take the Lamborghini to school. Ugh, I can't even go to school anymore. We have to be online now. Ew, digital stuff. It's unfair. I didn't even get my quarantine gift yet. I know my birthday is coming up, but I don't understand why we can't just get some friends on a plane and fly to Dubai and do all of our homework there. Ugh. 2020 was supposed to be the year where I got a yacht for my birthday, but instead I'm gonna get an island. Oh, an island, huh? No, I hate islands. Can I not have a yacht? I mean, I just wanted a yacht. Oh, sweetie, you already have 6 Ferraris, the Lamborghini, and a red McLaren. Do you really need a yacht this year? Yes, Mom, I need a yacht. All of my friends have yachts. Ugh. Anyway, I get super bored in my house, like, all the time. There's nothing to do here. I know we have, like, 4 indoor pools, a golf course, a movie theater, a horse racing track, and a gym, and 100 other rooms I've never even been in before, but they all seem pretty lame. I like my room. My room's so much better. I don't even remember how many butlers we have. I think it's like 60 or something. I should get my dad to fire one, because I think one of them took my AirPods. I can't find them anywhere. And I've only checked one room. Ugh. So, yeah, that's how my quarantine is. So unfair. This is Charles for my 17th episode of Riches to Rags, Not JK, Still Riches, live at my just kidding, $100,000 studio in New York City. Oh, I need to blow my nose. I didn't get all of it.
Welcome to this broadcasting of the 2020 Pandemic Olympics. I am your host, waiting for someone, joined by Mr. Remington Oat Learning Stinks II.
Thank you, Mr. Ian, for someone, and just call me Remy.
Of course, Remy Oat Learning Stinks. Our first event will be fencing.
Oh, how I do enjoy a good fence.
Now remember, Remy, we've had to adjust our events here in Tokyo due to the recent pandemic, so some things may be a bit different.
Tell me about it. I'd always wanted to do Bring Your Daughter to Work Day, but the best part of that idea is that it only lasted a day.
Oh, and it appears our athletes are entering the arena.
Look at the fire in their eyes as they prepare to face off with masks on.
Yeah, it's almost like they just had their job security restored after their first big gig in 4 years, which almost didn't happen.
Wow, this is intense.
Well, if you call toddlers fighting with pool noodles intense, then yes, quite. Oh my.
Wow.
Oh, and that's a touch. Wow, what a match.
Well, very surprising. I really thought the other one would win.
Well, I guess he didn't have a good enough defense.
Touche! Well, that concludes this touching event at the 2020 Socially Distanced Olympics.
I'm sorry, I thought we only had one news channel? Why, hello, and welcome back to our regularly scheduled program, which is me, the year 2020, apologizing in video form. I thought it might be more genuine, after all, to have you all verbally flog me in our special program tonight rather than me sighing deeply and crying a bit and pretending to be upset about what I've done to you all. Anyways, on with the show.
This is the year I've been waiting for my entire life. When I said the end was here, no one believed me, and everyone called me crazy. Well, how the tables have turned. Year after year, buying cleaner after cleaner, waiting for this moment. My moment. Being laughed at for over-preparing. I'm the one laughing now. You will all rue the day you decide to make fun of my lifetime supply of toilet paper. Do not come crying to me when you run out of wet wipes. I will survive this pandemic. And one day soon, you will all bow down to your toilet paper queen!
You're going to lose. Get that through your brain and then bathe in it like stupidity is a jacuzzi a couple of degrees too hot. Realize you are in second to last place and the red shell is coming. Your teachers just called your name for the presentation and you've left your notes at home in your brain by the Nintendo Switch. You're going to lose so badly that everybody at the dance workshop later today is going to see you and wonder if they accidentally wandered into a recuperation center for people raised by arthritic lizards. You're going to lose so horribly that all of your friends are going to grab 5-foot shovels and dig a hole in the desert that Mr. Sir would be proud of and ask you to sit in the bottom, politely, as they fill in their work. This is the erection at the spelling bee. This is the wintertime invasion of Russia. This is the backside of the math test. This is the boiled hot dog served to Gordon Ramsay. This is the moment where you leaned in for the kiss, where you fell for the flicker of affection, for the mess, for you that you saw in their dark, beautiful eyes. And then you sneezed. You know you're going to lose, and yes, it will be that bad. You fell and only broke a few bones, but now you know the worst that can happen. It's easy to forget the time when your fingers untensed as you sank into that vat of hot shame. How your sister laughed and took the third lap after you fell off Rainbow Road for the 50th time. Or how you flailed about at the dance later that night like Napoleon Dynamite. You took the best nap of your life in that hole of the desert, and 3 hours later your friends even pulled you out, congratulating on you surviving the hazing. You forgot that you were the Mongols, and invading Russia in the wintertime was Tuesday morning. You won the spelling bee like Andrew Rannells rocked the Tony Awards. Don't even mention the time that you and that boy you sneezed on found out that you both sang so horribly that nearby coyotes would probably have a better chance auditioning for the musical. So you danced together instead. Look at you. You dive into stupid mistakes like there aren't any rocks, sea urchins, or crippling social consequences where you hit the water. And you have the best form of any screw-up I've ever met.
Hello. To preface this masterpiece, most people cannot function at the same intellectually high velocity that my brain can. So if you think this piece is disturbing or nerdy or freakish, you're just, to put this in a way your tiny brain can understand, stupid. This is an exemplary piece, and quite frankly, you can't stop me. So let me start by painting you a picture. Okay. Location, the Skeld ship. There are 4 people remaining. You, orange, lime, and red. One imposter, it's you. You have to kill 2 more people to win, but you couldn't resist. It's what you live for. Your heart was pounding. It was your destiny. But who? Red was an easy target. Naive, almost. They were walking alone. However, the cool cooldown had not run out yet. It was very high, 60 seconds left. But a lot could change in 60 seconds. A lot could change. Red trusted you, and you liked that. A little too much. You should have ended it right there. You were mere seconds away from another kill, but you were too drawn in. He made you feel safe. Something about the way his color complimented his party had made you go mad. Your heart began to beat fast. You breathed heavy. You looked down and realized that kill cooldown had ended. It was your chance, but there was a force stopping you. At this point, you were practically drooling over the shine of his helmet. Snap out of it, you thought! But he was just too exhilarating. You decided you'd lay off until the end because he should be on the ship as long as possible. So you took a different approach and sabotaged Oxygen. He grabbed your hand and whispered you to follow. You couldn't resist his temptation. He has no idea, you thought, wondering if you should break his trust or tell him the truth. You're the imposter. Just say it and let him jump into your arms. Say it, darn it, say it! The air was getting thinner. It was harder to breathe. You saw sweat beating down his face. His skin was smooth. It started getting hot. Very hot. 10 seconds till Oxygen kills him. 9, 8. You couldn't help but get closer to him. You couldn't help but expose yourself. You couldn't make a move until you did. I have something to tell you, you said nervous. Focus, let me finish Oxygen so we both don't disintegrate. 7, 6, 5. He was struggling, so you just decided to fix it yourself. 3, 2. You ran up and pressed the code. The lights stopped flashing. It was just you two. You could have won right there, but more importantly, you couldn't help but want him. You dare say you loved him. You just hope he felt the same way about you. Red leaned in very close. I could feel the heat radiating off of him. He was taunting me. So that's done. So, what did you need to tell me? In that moment, you had a choice. Lose with someone you love by your side, or win and lose everything else. You couldn't help but babble. I spit it out. It's okay, he said as he touched your shoulder. Sharply inhaled, not expecting him to touch you. Oh, I'm sorry. Was that on okay? I didn't. No! I liked it. This time, he cut you off and pulled you in close. His hot breath was inches away from your face. Tasks were almost done. You had to get moving. You couldn't pull away. You couldn't help yourself. You couldn't win if you stayed. You're realizing now you have zero self-control. Some might say you're an animal. In that moment, you decided Red was more important than the game. Love was more important than the game. It was sexier. It was hotter. We stared intensely at each other, waiting for something to happen. Silence had so much tension. I couldn't handle it. It was building up. I couldn't take it. Just kiss me already. Red pinned me against the wall and...
No. Stop right there. I don't need any more of this.
We were just getting to the best part. Why did you have to interrupt me, you cheap, heartless, drug-eating, low-life, overstuffed baboon? Now the suspense is gone.
Sorry. My ears were bleeding.
What did I say about the minuscule intellectual size of anyone who doesn't like this monologue?
You're telling me you wrote a fanfic about Among Us?
No, I'm telling you, I wrote an explorational story of original varying content based loosely from a complex series of games.
Erickson said a 2-minute monologue. How much longer is this?
Not too much. Barely any, like 528 more pages.
Yeah, I'm cutting you off here.
Try me.
Okay.
No, stop.
It's good to be back. How have you all been? Well, hey there. Ready for rehearsal?
What's the point? It's not gonna be the same.
Aren't you just grateful to be back with everyone?
Everything is gonna be different. You'll see. I bet by the end of today, you'll agree.
Feelings, I love you. I love how you make me cry, how much you make me sigh. Anxiety, I love you. What can I say? I love feeling nervous all the time. You act like you're not even here and then you show up out of nowhere. Anger, I love you. I love how...
Hey, we can't see your face.
Oh, sorry.
Maybe a little bit that way? Yeah,
okay.
Keep going. Maybe a little bit more.
Is good?
Yeah, that's great.
5, 6, 7, 8. I have to be on in 10 seconds. Maybe if I... No. Oh, my dear, what have you done?
Tell my mama I love her. All I want is to be held for a while. It'll ease the pain.
This is ridiculous.
That's not your line.
Maybe I don't want lines anymore. Maybe I don't want to do this anymore. It's annoying. I just can't bring my character to its best.
Look, I understand things are messy right now, but we don't know how long this is gonna last. But that's what theater's about, being able to adapt and improvise. You're lucky to go through this experience, because in the end, it might make you a stronger actor.
Maybe you're right.
Quarantine in 2020 as a whole have taught me one thing. All of you people need help. From the things you like on me, the things you post, the things you find funny, one word: therapy. Back in 2016, I wasn't as popular as I am now, and I only had music and dancing videos. But now that I've gained popularity, that popularity came with the price. And the price is seeing you people and your content. Oh my goodness, the content. Get a therapist, get some better sleep, get a better coping mechanism at this point. I'm almost glad that Trump almost banned me, because then maybe I would stop seeing you guys' nightmare-causing content. Because it's always, what's your TikTok? And it's never, how is your TikTok?
So everyone seemed to really despise online learning, and honestly, I didn't really mind it. Like, sure, I missed a couple of my friends, but have you ever thought of all the positives? Like, I didn't have to deal with stupid people. My brain literally cannot comprehend people who have no common sense, and lately that seems like everyone on this planet. Anyway, it was very nice that I didn't have to walk around campus looking at people with really baggy pants who were blasting music from a $10 speaker. Also, I didn't have to detour in the hallway because someone decided to just stop in the middle of the hallway and have a full-blown conversation with one of their friends, completely disregarding everyone else trying to get to their destination. And I could wear pajama pants every single day during online learning and no one would even notice. And if they did notice, they wouldn't say anything because they were probably also wearing pajama pants. All of the work was just so much easier to get done because I could do it on my timeline. And if I had a question, I could just FaceTime my friend, and it felt like we were in class because we were helping each other with the assignment. Plus, everything was open note, so I didn't have to memorize a whole bunch of math equations that I'm seriously never going to use again. And way fewer people are asking me for homework questions, and no one is asking for a piece of my gum. For me, online school was the best part of this return to normalcy. I mean, I think I could get used to this online thing. The only downside was that we couldn't really do any extracurricular activities unless you're a sport, which is so stupid and I can't even verbalize how angry that makes me. So we're gonna switch topics because I'm sure there are some people who would not be too happy with my opinion on the return to sports. So I'm gonna jump to hybrid school, which personally for me wasn't really the move. I mean, it kind of felt like we weren't even on campus because you can't really have a conversation with someone from 6 feet away. Like, I would rather have just FaceTimed someone. Plus, no one really even followed the 6 feet away rule, so it was kind of just pointless. I mean, cases went down, which was great, but personally, I take a bunch of AP classes, and the hybrid model really messed us up. Plus, teachers are just throwing stuff at the students and expecting them to get it. Like, there's no comprehension going on at all. We're just being thrown and told what to do, and teachers are expecting us to pick it up, when really we're all just trying to get by. When we came back from break, it was so chaotic when everyone was back at school, and people were throwing their own homecoming. I'm sorry, but how stupid are you? What chemical in your brain thought that it was an okay idea to throw a really large gathering with a whole group of people and not wear masks? And if you told me that you did wear masks, I am not going to believe you, because who throws a giant dance party and keeps a mask on the whole time? Like, that just doesn't seem like a possible scenario. I don't understand why you would put so many lives in danger by doing that. I'm sorry, but I'm really not sorry, because I just think it's so stupid and careless. And all the sports are practicing and competing, which, like I said, is fine, but it just seems like everyone's asking for all of these cases to go up. I mean, I personally don't think it would be that bad to go back online full time. I mean, then I wouldn't have to worry about the ACT or the SAT, because probably everything would go test blind eventually. I mean, I would love to just go to next year and be in person next year, when I'll be accepted early admission and my test scores aren't going to be a factor, because hopefully it would be test blind. I don't know. Hopefully going back to school 24/7, everyone at once, will keep some of the yoga moms happy for now. Meanwhile, I'm just going to count down the days till graduation and hope that everyone stays safe and healthy. I'm Haley, and I approve these opinions.
2020 has been a year. Definitely one to remember, whether you want to or not. But it has made me notice some things I would never have before. Like, the feeling of staying up for days in a row. And getting out of the house, I didn't think I would miss it as much as I did. But one thing that I did notice is going for walks at night, amazing. Chef's kiss. Everything is so still and quiet. It's like you're the only person in the world. The only thing that can compare is going for early walks. Early walks? Walks early in the morning. Everything starts off really still and quiet, and you get to see the entire world around you just wake up. People going to work, birds chirping, all that fun stuff. And I really like those little things. They're like little pockets of joy in the world. Even in 2020, there's still little pockets of joy. This year has been long, annoying, sad, all just not great, you know? But for me, it has been a gift in a way. I get to see those little pockets of wonder in the world, and every time I find a new one, it's like a little bit of hope, you know? And I can't wait to find those little pockets of hope more this year. I'll probably find 1 million before the year's over. And even though 2020 has been horrible, still got that.
Welcome back to the 2020 Socially Distanced Olympics. I'm your host, waiting for someone joined by Mr. Remy of Learning Stinks II, here to bring you the world's favorite sport, soccer! Football! The one where they kick the ball.
Oh, here comes the players!
I can feel the excitement building up in this Tokyo arena, which is weird because there's a fan from Mono.
Let's play the match.
Oh, and what is this? Quite an unexpected change, wouldn't you say?
Well, it gets the job done, I guess. Looks like we got a little bit of disruption. I wonder what... Yup, that'll be a red card there, mate.
What a shame.
And just like that, we close off another segment of the 2020 Socially Distanced Olympics. Make sure to check back with the best Olympic news and greatest events. Till next time, I'm Remy, Outrunning Stinks II.
And I'm waiting for someone. Thanks for watching.
Okay, seriously, who are these newscasters? Do I have to send Rona over to deal with them? I swear, Oh, Hello, everyone. I understand that my friends, including Miss Rona, Depression, and the College Board, have all caused you some strife these past few months as they have worked closely with me. But I hope you all know that as of January 1st, I've officially handed over my crown to 2021, quite the lovely lady, and am now in retirement, watching the aftershock of my reign. And boy, has it been entertaining.
Puppies, a never-ending sea of puppies as far as the eye can see. Okay, let me start from the beginning. When the pandemic started, I was super lonely. That is one con of living by yourself. But I heard the animal shelter down the road was having a sale on dogs. So I thought I'd go and find a little friend to come and live with me. But you know how it is. You can't just take one home. They're all so cute and sweet. So I took 3. Yes, I know exactly what you're thinking. That sounded like a lot more than 3 dogs behind you. And yes, you would be correct. Let me continue. A week later, the shelter said they needed to get rid of all of the dogs so that way the volunteers would no longer have to come and visit and put themselves at risk of being infected. So, of course, I went back. I mean, how could I not? Look at all those cute little fishes. At the beginning of the day, they had over 300 dogs to find homes for. By the end of the day, they still had 23 dogs that didn't have homes. I couldn't bear to think what would happen to them if they didn't find a home. So I took them all. I mean, how could I not? But I'm starting to think that wasn't such a great idea. It might have been even a terrible one. They've taken over the entire house and I don't know what to do. I'm so scared. Oh no, they found me. Tell myself.
Some say school should reopen. Others say opening school is a mistake. But you know what I say? School shouldn't reopen because the COVID cases will increase and the population will decrease. If we continue to go to school, we have to wear masks. As of now, we're wearing masks. And I recently heard ASU had a coronavirus outbreak with nearly 800 cases, including both students and teachers. And the numbers are significantly rising every single day. Everyone should agree that schools shouldn't reopen. Yes, we miss our friends and teachers, but we need to stay safe. If we all work together, we can accomplish great things, and going back to school just isn't the right thing to do. We can risk people getting sick.
Society thinks skinny is pretty, but it's not just skinny, it's all bodies. It's sad when I see people judge their body or someone else's. It's a messed up society that everybody has an expectation for. Girls want to have a perfect body, and if they don't, then they get insulted if they post it on the internet. Newsflash, their body is already perfect. People just need to stop expecting more because they already got more. They all need to stop judging others. Some people thought they had it to be thin to be happy when they were growing up and probably still think that, but it's not true. You make yourself happy. If you're happy with your body, then just be happy with it. Yes, people are gonna judge, but I'd rather have people judge me than changing the way I look because of what somebody else said and being unhappy while doing it. Girls/boys, you should focus on being happy, being yourself, and at least trying to spread positivity because who knows, you could have saved someone from trying to starve themselves.
Now, I'm not really one to complain or whine about anything ever, but I'm broke! Okay, I'm broke. I'm broke as a joke. And not only that, I'm poor. I have no heat, no food, no water, no electricity. All I have is a roof, a degree, and tap shoes. Now, everybody around me is saying that this is quite the predicament, and you know what? I agree. But I was always taught that I gotta improvise through all the challenging times. And you know what? I graduated from NYU with my bachelor's in theater, and I didn't do it for nothing. And you know what? I say it really quietly. I don't really mention it much anymore because it's become quite the stigma. And as much as I would like to shout it from the rooftops and from the windows that, hey, I'm a theater major, the last time I did that, people started throwing soda cans up at me. So we don't do that anymore. Well, whenever I would tell employers that I was a theater major and I was studying theater at NYU, they would go, okay, what else? As if there was anything else to say. You don't need anything more from me. That's it. Done. I don't need a master's in order to bust your table, so give me the job. And besides, you know what? I think everybody is so lucky when they have a theater major applying because we can adapt and we can think on our feet and we can perform with hundreds and thousands of eyes upon us. Like I'm doing right now. In school, all the rules of improv that I had learned were to never say no and to never ask questions, and I hope that you know that I have utilized each and every single rule into my daily life. You know, a man stops me in the middle of the street to ask me if I want to buy a watch. Of course, sir, and let me go to the back alley with you so I can check out the rest of them. You know, back when we were able to go into restaurants, I used to do this funny thing where whenever I ordered pasta and the waiter started putting Parmesan cheese on it, I never told him no and when to stop. Because I'm never supposed to say no. And what if a director was sitting right behind me? He would hire me right on the spot and admire me for my dedication. Needless to say, I got the whole block every time. I stuck it to the people that I worked for when I graduated last winter, because I knew that I was going to get on Broadway. I mean, it can't be that hard. I am grateful, don't get me wrong, I am grateful for that restaurant, because I left college almost debt-free. But you know, all this talent, all this hard work, all this dedication, I just can't even stay as a waitress. I was too excited. I was too excited to go out and audition and get a job, because it can't be that hard. I mean, everybody talks about how they struggle and how they keep their daytime job because Broadway is hard, and I know. But come on, even though I have no connections and I know nobody, is it really going to be that hard for me? Well, yes, it is. Because of course I'm stupid. I'm so stupid, and I'm dumb, and I'm stupid, and I'm wrong. I'm wrong, and it's terrible because I had to tough it out broke for 3 months. And then March came around, and it's always that with these COVID stories, isn't it? Then March came around. Well, March came around and all the work that I ever could have gotten in my life just went away because Broadway shut down. New York City as a whole shut down. And you know what? I don't blame them. Thank God for it. But this was back when we thought that it'd be 2 weeks' time. So I said to myself that I'm going to wait, and I'm going to wait for a month. Tough it out broke for 1 month, and then I'll get a job when this is all over and when this is blown past. Well, everywhere I looked, it was nothing. No singers, no dancers, no performers, no tourists, no people, no nothing, no directors, no casting agents, and just for the first time in my life, I doubted myself. I don't do that. I improvise. I do what needs to be done in order to get the job, the position, the role, the degree. I improvise. But no one knows when the theaters are going to open back up. And it leaves me thinking crappy thoughts all by my lonesome, like I spent the last 15 years of my life in theater, the last 4 for my bachelor's. And what was it all for? I spent 60 hours a week to uphold that dream. What was it all for? So, to distract myself and to finally get something, I started applying for jobs. But no one was going to hire me because, you know what? I'm no longer a student. I'm not a student anymore. I'm just a person with a BA in theater, and I thought you could do anything with a BA in theater. But apparently there's not much you could do in the middle of a pandemic with a bachelor's in theater. And I should have known that. But it kills me. It kills me. Because I can hold a note, I can sing, I can dance, I can hold myself to a high standard. I worked while others went out for New Year's, for holidays, my birthday. Every day that I possibly could, I worked. All I am is dedication. But now all I am is broke.
I'm not sure if anyone will see this, but hi, I'm Jessie. About 9 months ago, the US was threatened. Our president at the time did not do much to help. In fact, I think he made it much worse. Because of this threat, the US almost went into World War III. And not only this, but half of Australia was burning down. And this was only the beginning. Everything did eventually start to go back to normal. The threats went away and the fires went out. But then some guy decided to eat a bat, and the Americas were cursed with a disease. It is known as, we call it, COVID-19, or the coronavirus. My last normal day was March 14th. It's December now, and I had just barely started going back to school. Between the months of March and September, a lot has happened. Not only were there the World War III threats, but because of the fires in Australia, hundreds of buildings, people, animals were burnt down, injured. And along with this, Kobe and his daughter, along with some of their friends, were in a horrible accident, passed away. The president got impeached. Thousands of businesses, schools, churches were shut down. The world went into a lockdown for months. And that's when the riot started. I know what you're thinking. The world is ending. I had feared the same thing. I had feared, what if we didn't make it out of this? What if my parents get sick, my friends, my loved ones, what if I get sick? It was like my life, my reality was falling apart. Literally, it felt like my life was falling apart. I had this feeling of our existence fading, like everything I'd known was just disappearing. It was like everything was a fuzzy dream, but that's when the dream started. I started to have dreams of this woman talking, saying the simulation was almost over, it was time to take me out, it was time to wake me up. And that's when I think I realized that I was in a simulation. I remember laying in my bed in this so-called simulation world and thinking, we need to get this shut down. We're sending who knows how many people to this other world in our heads that's just horrible. We shouldn't be living in this. I thought it would be simple. I thought I would find a way to make the others here in the simulation with me aware and we could somehow overthrow what was going on. But that's when I woke up. I've been awake for 23 days now, and the government is still looking for me. They tried to swipe my memories when I woke up. In fact, I think they believe they swiped my memories. But I remember everything.
2020. What to say about them? You know, they were friends to people who loved their houses and friends to people who loved making terrible TikTok trends. I'd love to say amazing things about them, but let's be real. Let's not lie, to be honest. Let's just not lie. Today we celebrate Miss Corona. Let's hope we never see her again. We also celebrate World War III conspiracies. Shout out to the people who almost got recruited. And, having us all go insane for that fact of the matter also, because, let's be real, yikes. We even celebrate TikTok for keeping us all sane and, laid up in our beds, really thinking, do I finish my assignment? Or do I watch a frog dance for 5 minutes on repeat? We also celebrate the game Among Us, the perfect game that brings us together. Liars and tasks that all make us look like babies when we can't figure them out. Like, seriously, some tasks on Among Us, let's be real, a 5-year-old could probably do them like that easily. But with all being said, we could truly sum up this year by quoting one of the best shows in Broadway. Raise a glass to freedom.
Unbelievable. So I went to Walmart today, as one does, because I need to get my kids Capri Suns and orange slices for their soccer game. I needed to take charge this week because Tammy decided to get Oreos and other sugar-filled disgusting snacks that will rot my dear kids' teeth. When I went into Walmart, I was stopped by one of those stupid little greeters you pass when going through the doors that have as much intellect as a cashew. They told me that I needed a mask to go into the store, and I am in complete shock because even the thought of a mask gives me a panic attack. So I explained to Mr. Greeter here that wearing a mask is too dangerous for me because I will begin to hyperventilate. Then I asked to speak to his manager because the disrespect that man showed to me was unbelievable. I waited for 5 whole minutes with my kids as they listened to Kids Bop on their phones. The manager finally arrived and I was so ready to tell him I don't have to wear a mask, but he comes by and says, "I'm sorry, ma'am, but everyone needs to wear a mask when in the store. That is a complete and utter invasion of my rights that I know I have. If I don't want to wear a mask, then I don't have to. And this lunatic said it's store policy." I'm pretty sure what he's saying is illegal, but I decided to use one of my better comebacks because I printed out one of those cards saying I don't have to wear a mask. See here? This card proves that I don't have to wear a mask because of my breathing condition that I have. This awful manager decides to call security on me. On me! I grabbed both of my kids by the arms and quickly sped walked over to the snack aisle because Tammy was not about to feed sugar-filled, disgusting snacks to my gluten and dairy-free kids. I made it to the aisle, slamming my cart into other people just to find that security is blocking my way. The security guy grabbed my hand as I reached for the strawberry kiwi Capri Suns and pushed me away. He attacked me. I was escorted out of that good-for-nothing Walmart by this filthy security guard with the stupidest name, Greg. I bet Greg lives alone on the side of the road. So here I am, explaining word for word what happened on my terrifying trip to Walmart for my poor kid's soccer game. I need my 56 Facebook followers to gather together and boycott this place. Together we can protest this awful disrespect and discrimination that the manager and Greg showed me in this unbelievable experience.
Welcome back to your broadcast of the 2020 Socially Distanced Olympics. Up next, 2020 Olympic headlines that are shocking the world. Nerds all around the world are furious at the exclusion of chess from this year's Olympic Games. They've taken their rage to Twitter using the hashtag #GimmeChessGodBless. This attempt at inclusion has seemed to backfire due to the rising popularity of the hashtag "Yeah, sure, let's put chess on TV, that'll be fun to watch," cough cough, sarcasm.
Olympic tennis players baffled at the suspension of the tournament due to many of the tennis balls testing positive. They believe that the virus is contained to the Dunlop brand balls. We are still waiting the test results of the Wilson brand balls.
Many Olympic swimmers were suspended today due to being caught not wearing masks. An Italian swimmer was questioned after leaving his locker room on why he refused the mandatory rule. He simply replied, quote, "I can't wear a mask underwater." More on the investigation later.
The city of Tokyo is under attack today after forgetting to set up an arena for the Olympic handball tournament. The Tokyo's representative of Olympic Affairs responded briefly with controversial statements, such as, quote, "What is handball?" and quote, "That's in the Olympics?" More on this developing story later.
We will now close our extended Olympic news program. Check back in later for final events.
I'm waiting for someone.
And I'm Remy O Learning Things. Thanks for watching.
I guess the 2020 pandemic Olympics aren't going away then. Welcome back, everyone. As we get into the waning of our evening show, I'd like to remind you all that Miss Corona, good friend of mine, has agreed to stay partnered with my sister the year 2021. I say this just so you all know to keep wearing your masks, washing your hands, and discovering and accepting the innermost shadows we all have in our souls. Enjoy the show.
Before I spend the next 2 months in a lonely spacecraft, I shall read to you my final entry in my logs over a video this human made. She got too bored over quarantine. First year of the month seems fine besides World War III rumors, fires in Australia, and something about beer. The humans continue on in their daily life, going to work, feeding me, pets, sleep, and repeat. Nothing new to report for now. February. The humans continue on with their daily lives, but this month is the month where they tend to shed the most tears, the ones without mates at least. The ones without mates help to the disappearance of ice cream and baked goods during this time. Humans tend to use me as their personal cuddle buddy, as they call it. I don't mind the extra pets, but this month is definitely the most odd. March. In all my years of observation, this is a first for me. The humans' new routine is sleep, 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 feed me, TV, 5 trips to the pantry, and repeat. Something has happened in their outside world. Something about that beer again. Something to definitely note. April. The humans have begun to wear these new things, and I believe they call them face masks. The humans commonly leave the house just to turn around to come back for them. May. Today the human left the TV on while they were away, and I am now fully aware of the situation at hand. The coronavirus seems to be unlike any virus they've ever had. The humans are currently in the middle of a pandemic, and the masks are essential for them to leave in order to help them to not get sick. I also heard on the news that people are protesting and rioting over the death of a man named George Floyd. I have a feeling that this may not be the end of this year's events. June. I believe the humans have begun to return to normal life, but only after a little while the humans come back. The COVID-19's numbers keep climbing, and the rioting continues on. July. The humans continue to protest and riot, and now they've also begun looting. I understand wanting to stand together to protest what's happening in their world, but looting and trying to erase their own history? Don't they remember that they used to worship us? August. The humans' children are starting online school. My human's child looks like she's about ready to jump off a bridge if this continues. And it's just now hitting me that this child hasn't seen her friends since March. I understand how that feels. I've been here 6 human years and I miss my family. September. I don't even know where to start with this one. On the 6th, protesters have gone on to their 100th day of protesting. On the 18th, Ruth Bader Ginsburg passed away due to cancer. She was some important figure. She was on their Supreme Court or something. And on the 29th, their 2 candidates for president had their first debate, and it, as the humans call it, a hot mess. It's currently October, and an evacuation is required. I fear if I stay here much longer, I may contract this and never be able to return home. If any humans ever find this, I fear a cover may be blown. Regardless, I'm leaving now. I'll be home soon.
2020 has been horrible. In fact, it's been terrible. Just no good. To sum it up as quickly as possible, it's all bad. I feel we find ourselves saying this year can't get any worse 5 times each month, and somehow it always gets worse. We've had natural disasters, we still can't escape this pandemic, there are so many issues in the world, and we've had a ton of people pass away. Just when the new month comes, I think to myself, maybe we can catch a break, maybe we'll get 1 month of peace, but as it turns out, that's not happening. I know this sounds crazy. We all joked about how the world was ending, but I just survived an apocalypse and saved the world. Now I'll tell you about it. As I was driving to the market to get some popcorn, I know, but I'm stuck inside. And if I can't see my friends and do fun things, at least let me pick out on my couch while watching TV. I heard on the radio, breaking, zombies on the loose. If you see one, do not engage. Run away and find a place to hide. Luckily for me, when the pandemic hit, I carried a sword that was approximately 6 feet long. So when the time came, I was ready to slash those zombie heads right off. They said not to engage, but if no one did anything, we'd have zombies breaking in our homes and eating our brains. I could have gone home, but I needed that popcorn. And I really wanted to see what zombie guts looked like. Well, those zombies were really killer. They were really hard to fight off, but in the end, I survived. They were coming at me yelling, brains, brains, but I'm not even that good at math and chemistry. So if they did get my brains, it wouldn't have tasted that good. If they really wanted good brains, they should have gone after Elon Musk or Mark Zuckerberg. You know, actual smart people. I did save the world by chopping off their heads with my sword, and I did get my popcorn too. It was definitely an interesting day. I don't know what the rest of 2020 has in store, but maybe the rest of it won't be so terrible. Although it did get me off the couch, and I did break in a sweat when they tried to kill me. Maybe today wasn't so bad.
What a year. So while I was in quarantine, I couldn't do any of the things I normally would do, like hiking, working out, walking my dog, going on dates, stuff like that. So as soon as I heard the news we could finally go outside, well, I wasted no time. One day I was at the gym and I saw this guy, and he was not bad looking. I mean, I could only see his eyes and forehead, but He had beautiful eyes, and might I say, a wonderful forehead. Okay. He came up to me and I was dripping sweat and breathing like a dog that had just chased a squirrel. And we got to talking and one thing led to another and he asked me on a date. I mean, why wouldn't he go out with a puddle? Of course I said yes. So Saturday night comes exactly at 7 p.m. I hear at my door. It's him. It was so awkward. I mean, I couldn't hug him or shake his hand, but that's not even the worst part. We got to the restaurant and the music was blasting, so when he asked me where I wanted to sit, either a table or booth, I said nothing. I just laughed. I thought he was making a joke or something. Anyway, we sat down and we had to be 6 feet apart the whole time. We would talk, but talking was more like yelling. Like, where are you from? Do you have COVID? It doesn't hurt to ask. And sometimes he would ask me a question and I wouldn't hear him, so I would just say something like him. What are you gonna have? Me? No, not really. I don't even know what I heard. Finally, we left the restaurant, he drove me home, and then when we got to my doorstep, we couldn't even have a goodnight kiss. It was a goodnight wave. Ugh! So my conclusion, dating during quarantine. Don't do it.
Hey guys, welcome back to my podcast. Now, I've got a bone to pick with this coronavirus. I mean, who even thought of the name coronavirus? It ruined a franchise and it sounds so stupid coming off the tongue. And dear me, it is the worst. It's like a heat advisory or a snowstorm, and school shuts down, except everything else also shuts down, and it stays that way for the better part of a year. Or like 1993's hit comedy Groundhog Day, starring Bill Murray. Except you can't do anything during the recurring days, and also time still progresses. So it's nothing like 1993's hit comedy Groundhog Day, but I feel like I'm getting my point across. And yeah, it could be worse. But could it? I mean, for lack of a better phrase, let's get real here for a second. Unemployment rates are gradually rising, children are struggling mentally, and small businesses are shutting their doors at alarming rates. Just the other day, I was driving down Main Street, and I saw that a Village Inn closed. Now, normally somebody would say, well, shoot, another good breakfast joint down the drain. But this particular Village Inn on this particular Main Street had very particular sentimental value to me. You see, my grandpa used to take my cousins and I there every year for Veterans Day breakfast, followed by a parade or a movie, whatever was in the area. It's about 6 years of childhood memories gone, because some virus decided to tour the U.S. To add on to the matter, other small establishments are closing up shop just mere months after opening because they couldn't support themselves in such a challenging time. Like the middle child. After turning 18, parents having devoted their time and resources to the eldest, planning to recuperate those same time and resources for the youngest. But the middle child, no. The middle child is left to Aunt Linda and roommates for cash and hospitality. And we are left to video games and chat rooms to socialize. You know, it's funny, because two of the world's favorite video games right now are Fall Guys and Among Us. And it's interesting, because both of them revolve around little bean people. Who would have guessed? I'll give you a quick hint and say nobody. You know, you want to know the worst part? The worst part is that there's no foreseeable end. It wouldn't be that bad if it had a departure date. You know, Flight 17 departing on November 23rd at 8:25 p.m. For those attending, proceed with caution. This flight will hold the personification of the coronavirus. Bring a mask and wear a sun hat. But no. Instead, we're constantly reminded that a vaccine is in the making. No rush, scientists, but there's also a generation in the making. Or rather, on hold. And I say that as respectfully as possible. I'm no biochemist. I don't know how difficult it is to make a vaccine to a virus that nobody's ever heard of. But being a student, I can say that the current 6 months this thing has been floating around for is more than enough time for me to write and revise a short and relevant monologue. But hey, at least we have Zoom.
Day 1. Today my human decided to stay home. It's weird because every time I ask her to stay home and rub my belly all day, she walks out the door. So I decided to tell her how happy I was, and I barked and barked and barked and barked, and she yelled at me. She told me to be a good dog and go lay down.
Maybe she'll be in a better mood tomorrow. Day 2. Today, I chased a squirrel in the backyard, and then my human came out and yelled at me because she told me I was waking up the neighbors. I wasn't even barking. And another thing, why isn't she at work yet? She needs to go back to work. Day 3. Today, my human was complaining about something called COVID, so I decided to complain too. So I barked and barked and barked and barked. Let's just say she did not like that at all. Day 10. It's been over a week and my human is still home. She doesn't even get dressed anymore or go to work. I'm getting really, really, really tired of her. Day 15. Today my human decided I didn't get enough exercise, so she made me run laps in the backyard. I'm so tired of her. She needs to go back to work and make money so I could buy dog food. Day 50. I used to sing the song, I'm So Lonely, but now I'm not lonely, and I'm getting driven out of my mind because she's just here and she's just talking to me and complaining. She needs to leave me alone. Day 65. I used to take so many naps, and now I don't remember the last time I took a nap. It's been forever. So I decided to go in her closet and she wants some shoes. And she came in there, found the shoes with holes in them, and yelled at me, put me outside, and told me I was a bad dog. Day 75. Today was not a good day. My human decided to drive me to the vet. The vet, my least favorite spot. When I was at the vet, I decided that I didn't want to go inside, so I ran away. I ran down the street, all the way to my home. Yeah, that sounds pretty ridiculous. We lived pretty close to the vet. Day 85. I'm so tired. And today, my human decided to give me a bath because I smelled. And I didn't smell. Midway through the bath, I jumped out and got bubbles all over the house. Yeah, I got in trouble for that. She put me outside and told me to think about why I'm a bad dog. Day 100. I'm tired of baths. I'm tired of vets. I'm tired of not being able to sleep in my own house. I'm tired of this crazy lady. She's driving me out of my mind. And do you want to know what she said to me today? She said we don't have dog food anymore. She said I'm out of food. So now, I'm a bad dog. I don't even get to eat dog food. And now I just get to sit in this house with this crazy lady. Thank you, COVID. Thank you for ruining my life. Tell my story.
I'm Sonic. Sonic the Hedgehog. That no-good Dr. Eggman tried to start World War III, but I put a speedy stop to that. But then that dastardly doctor released some sort of virus and now the world's all sorts of messed up. Oh man, what do I do? I told my buddy Tails, and he said he'd get a cure made. I hope he finds one quick. I can't wear a mask. My ears are in the wrong spot.
So, I was doing some thinking. We lost our jobs due to COVID. Unemployment isn't enough money. I was thinking that it'd be the perfect time to rob a store. Face masks are already mandatory. All you have to do is throw out some sunglasses, and they'll never know it's us. We get there early in the morning with the old people. We can even dress like them. To make it less noticeable, we would run to the toilet paper first just to make them mad. I know we don't need any, but it's funny. And then as we're running through the store, pushing down the old folks, the workers would run over them to help them. And we would run full speed to the cash register. I would get lane 1, 2, and 3. You would get 4 through 6. And then, as soon as they notice, we will call more people in as a distraction. They would think it's the rioters anyways. So while they're distracted again, I would take all the cash. You would go get the car. I would go to the back door, closest to the trash cans. I'll hop through the window, and well, it's that easy. Can you please help a buddy out? What do you mean I sound insane? I sound like a genius. Come on, please. It's not that hard. Oh my god, you're actually gonna do it? Thank you so much. Oh, you wanna go right now? In your car? Oh, thank you for the water. Why is it foggy? Never mind, I trust you. all asleep? And why am I in an all-white room? And what's this thing restraining my arms? He really turned me in as a psycho. I'll show him a psycho. It can't be worse than what 2020 has already been.
It was a night like any other, but one fateful day, I saw a UFO crash onto Donald Trump's house. He was fine, other than the fact that a piece of dirt hit his shirt. He freaked out and built a wall around him. Then I think an alien came out of the wreckage and said, "Help." I ran out of gas. So I helped him. I went to the ship, and I was like, "Why do you need me?" He said, "I need you for fuel." And I was like, "No way, Jose." So then I left, and he was like, "Oh, not for fuel, for company." So then he offered me some sleeping water, and I refused, of course. Then he pointed a laser pointer at me, and I just remember that I couldn't be here anymore. So then I left. He got angry and he lost temper and went to the control room. Then I saw Trump coming out of the wall, so I went to go talk to him. Now that I think about it, I don't know why I did that. So I left. I was beyond annoyed at the alien. So when I saw him driving up to a truck towards me, I was beyond annoyed. And he pulled over to me and said, "If you want to see your favorite movies again, like Nerve or Star Wars, you have to come with me." And just thinking about it, my movies. How could I live without my movies? So I went to go to a ship. Then he said if I wanted my movies back, he would have to take me. So I took his hand. I aboard the ship. But then Trump ran after him and hit him with an umbrella. My dream ended saying, "Not in my country."
Welcome back to the 2020 Socially Distanced Olympics. We close out with our final event, Greco-Roman wrestling. Adjusted for the pandemic, of course.
I am quite excited to see how they will pull this off.
It will be quite difficult to manage, and I don't mean to singlet this event out.
The wrestlers are lining up. It appears that nothing is different other than masks. I don't see how... wait, is that a chair between them?
What? What's happening?
It appears that... Oh, no.
Oh my! Toddlers with pool noodles aside, this is entertaining!
I mean, is it ever? I didn't know someone could spray that aggressively. Oh, and they're on the ground. They're moving up off the ground.
Up.
Oh,
Still spraying.
Oh, of course they're still. Oh man! Oh,
Very
circles down the
messy.
chair.
And
the music has stopped. And he comes out on top.
The blonde one wins.
No,
going.
they're still spraying. Oh,
Yeah,
whoa,
the victor's
hey,
been
oh
announced.
no.
What is this interpretive dance?
Oh wow. Oh, they're back at the chair. Oh, and it is the winner. Wow.
What a match!
Historic at the least!
Legendary performance!
And with that invigorating performance, we will close out today's broadcast of the 2020 Pandemic Olympics. I'm Wade, Eat for Someone.
And I'm Remy O. Learning Things. Thank you for watching.
Welcome back, everyone. It has been an absolute journey to see you all talk about, report on, and write poetry concerning what an absolutely terrible year I've been. I'd even say it's cathartic. Anyways, thank you all for watching tonight, and thank you to all of the youth at Red Mountain who contributed to this very special episode of Year of Nightmares, hosted by me, the year 2020. Stay safe, and good luck, everybody. Have a good night.